Hey, call me Shape, and today I'm reacting to a video titled Sassy Bonnet Wear Exposes Black Women Who Love Hobosexuals. Let's get right into it.
Let's talk about handsome hobosexuals. So a handsome homosexual is a man who uses the women that he romantically dates for anything. It could be money, a house to stay at, food to eat, a car to drive, or maybe just these women are funding their lifestyles, whatever they might be doing.
I'm a gigolo, spinning lots of dough. You can tell the way the wide body's hitting on foes. Blue pound shining with the fresh clothes. Always surrounded by so many. I'm a gigolo, always on the go.
Many women are willing to pay for the men that they like, or at the very least, there's going to be a willingness to compromise, to lower, to amend, change their standards if a man comes in the package that is attractive to that woman. And Black women are no exception to that rule. I saw this video that I wanted to share because I think it does a perfect job of explaining in detail exactly what many of us have known to be true for quite some time.
I gotta admit though, I won't lie, I'm definitely someone that benefited off of the handsome hobosexual epidemic, right? I got a lot on my looks growing up, when it comes to women. I never had money, so if I dated a beautiful woman, just know she found me attractive.
She has to say, and then we'll break it down.
So a handsome homosexual is a man who uses the women that he romantically dates for anything. It could be money, a house to stay at, food to eat, a car to drive, or maybe just these women are funding their lifestyles, whatever they might be doing. So what they will do is they will seek women in whom they can take advantage of.
Take advantage of. So let's unpack that a bit. Many times when I hear about these horrible cheating stories, toxic relationships gone wrong, the narrative is usually that the woman is a victim, especially when it's coming from her point of view. And to be clear, there are obviously times in relationships where
it's not a victim, it's an even exchange. Plus, some girls believe in 50-50. I know a lot of people online say they don't, but listen, man, I went 50-50 with a lot of girls, okay? Not that I bought every, or like we went half on every dinner or anything like that, but there's times where I paid and there's times where they paid, right? Nowadays, that seems like that's like a no-go, right? Don't do that, but I've done that many times in my life, and yeah, you know what? Looks will help.
men do bad, disgusting, evil things. I don't deny that. But there has to be an acknowledgement that it takes two to tango. Anytime there are two adults coming together, there is always some level of responsibility on either side. And so the thing about these kinds of setups that isn't really being addressed is that in a situation where a woman is essentially fitting the bill, paying, whether it be she's lowering her standards, changing her standards, basically doing things that she wouldn't be willing to do to any other man because she's so sexually attractive. Sometimes women can get sucked in because they're falling in love.
All these pictures of the big girl giving the guy money is mad funny, bro. I've never had this before. I won't lie. Well, no, okay. One time. I did have it one time, right? I was dating a girl in high school. She was fly, though, okay? She was a little bit bigger, but she was fly. She was attractive. Curly hair. I think she was like half Italian, half like Filipino, something like that. Some kind of mixture like that, okay? She was like a biracial girl. But she was a little bit on the heavier side, I won't lie. But she was a cool girl. And she did buy me a brand new pair of sneakers for my birthday, and that's kind of what started the whole thing off. Like, I didn't really know her like that. I knew she liked me. And she offered to buy me something for my birthday. And from there, we started a relationship. And honestly, she's probably one of the most chillest girls I've ever dated, And I did break up with her eventually because I wanted to date more attractive women. But as far as like her soul and her personality and just like as a good person, she was awesome, right? But I'm going for battered chicks at some point.
More of the fantasy are falling in love with the image of that person, and because of that they are unwilling or unable to see the man for who he is. And so there is such a thing as denial. There is such a thing as self-deception. And sometimes these things are also at play. And it's not that the man hasn't shown who he is or been open about that. There are times when a woman is so dedicated to making that particular man her fantasy, her dream, that she's willing to fund it. And once she figures out that her efforts and her money are not able to change that man to whom she wanted him to be, sometimes they can feel like victims. But as I mentioned before, it takes two to tango. And in any relationship, when it doesn't work, it's usually the responsibility on some level of both parties.
And they will lie, they will manipulate, they will, even though they present as if they're taking care of everything, they will make you feel like it is rational and that it's reasonable for you to give them things. They will start to guilt trip you. They will manipulate you. They will lie to you. They will do all of that just to get what they want.
Now, there are a few things to consider.
Okay, she's a little bit lying. She's exaggerating, right? Like, I don't think you gotta guilt trip a girl to get money out of her. I don't know, does guilt trips really work on women when it comes to money? I don't think so. But if a girl likes you and you guys are getting along, that's an opportunity for her to spend money on you. I'm gonna be honest with you. And honestly, a lot of girls, even nowadays, even I've seen modern women too. I've dated girls who were like younger, 24, 25. They've offered to pay for things. Like, all right, let's say I pay for lunch, so pay for dinner or dessert. And they'll just offer it, okay? And these are attractive girls. But I do remember a time when some girls, and this is back in the day, this is not recently, but we'll go to dinner and they'll offer to pay. But so just to not make me look bad, they'll slide me the credit card underneath the table, and then I'll pay. I remember those days, and I thought nothing of it at the time. It wasn't like me trying to manipulate a girl or trying to use her for money, but I think I was someone that offered value, right? I was worth the time. I was worth the money. What did A$AP Rocky say? I'm a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to treat me and spoil me like a bad bitch, you know? And that mentality, if you're an attractive guy, you got to go with it. And, yeah. These are the men that can get away with this kind of stuff. I got away with this stuff my entire life because I've never had the money. I'm only getting to the money now. But, yeah, I heavily relied on my looks. And this is why I can tell you with confidence that you got to let women chase you. Right? Because all those scenarios I can remember where the girl was spending money, I let her chase me. And they loved it. Right? I never chased after women. You got to chase after your goals. No matter if you're rich or poor, no matter what it is, the alpha thing is to never put women on a pedestal. Only people put women on a pedestal are simps.
What is the community of that woman? The woman that is dating that man, is she in community? People in her life who she is accountable to? People in her life who like watch over her? Whether it be, fathers, parents, whether it be spiritual leaders, like what is the community around her? Because what I found is the importance of community and the importance of having elders, people in your life who help guide you in these things is to prevent you from getting into relationships with people who may actually mean harm. This is why it is so important to not only be in community, but to have elders and to have spiritual elders in your life who can help.
By the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't have to miss out on any of the great content that we're about to drop.
Safeguard you against that. Or at least warn you and provide insight and guidance in areas where you just might have your blinders on or be too young or too immature to perceive what's actually going on. Now, obviously, a woman doesn't have to listen to wise counsel. She can do whatever she wants. But if she does whatever she wants and it blows up in her face, at least at that point, she can't say she's a victim. She has to own the fact that
None of them are victims. None of them are victims. Are the girls that went to Chris Brown's concert and paid $1,000 just for a photo op with him, are they victims? No. These are happy customers. Listen, women spend money too. This idea that, they feel the manipulation, right? The ruse is, men are supposed to chase women and spend money on us. The truth is, if a girl really likes you, I'm telling you, she's going to want to spend money on you. Buy you clothes, buy you shoes, buy you cologne, right? Buy you underwear, like everything. I've gotten so many gifts from women in my life, right? I used to even get love letters. We don't do that no more, right? But I used to get love letters. Girls used to be really in love with a guy back in the day. I'm telling you, growing up through high school, middle schools, if a girl liked you, she'd write you a letter. You wouldn't even know, right? I remember getting a letter. A girl slide me a letter. I'm like, I'm not even paying attention. I had no idea. And then open a letter. Oh my God, I think you're so handsome. Da 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 da. I want to date you. I want to be your girlfriend. This was back in the day, bro. We did this in middle school. And that was a white girl that wrote me a letter. I remember the first time I moved from the hood to the suburbs when I was like 13 years old, 7th grade. First day in an all-white, classroom. I'm the only black person. This is the first time I realized I was black because up to that point, till I was 13 years old, I only went to all-black school. It was predominantly black in Jersey City. and we had some Filipinos, and we had a little bit of white, but not too many. But this is my first time I'm like the only black kid. Anyway, long story short, I remember the first day of one of my classes, this girl came up, bumped into me, smiled, looked at me, and then put a folded up origami note on my desk. And it had my name on it. And I was just like, what? I was shocked because I was new to the school. But apparently, she was a white girl who dated a black guy, another black kid. Well, we're young. We're like black kids, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And apparently the kid moved away, right? He like left the school, went to another school, moved to a different state or something like that. And so when I just happened to move in that next year, it was like she gained all the hope back that she'll get to replace him. Now, by the way, I could never live up to be him because I didn't know who he was and I never was him. She liked me and she had a crush on me based on that. But my whole point to say is that women will vote with their dollars, their effort, their time, their energy. That's how they vote on who they like. They're going to show up and they're going to spend. They're going to support. Women are some of the best market movers because they're willing. They're the ones that make what? They say that their consumer reports say that women make up to 80% of the purchasing decisions in a household. Therefore, of the purchasing decisions in the world, essentially, you know what I'm saying, in America, if you look at the American market, it's moved largely by female choices. So, again, we've been sold this line that you got to spend all your money. We got to be like the French. The Frenchmen are saying, why am I paying for you on the first date? You should pay for me. Sacre blues.
Chose to be with somebody bad. Whereas before, if a woman is doing this by herself, she might be missing all those red flags or choosing to do so without anybody there to call her out on her self-deception, without anybody there to call her out.
They will enter into like their entire dating experience. Their reason to date is to live. They're not being romantic with you because they love you. They're not being romantic with you because they're craving that romance. They are doing it as an exchange to get whatever it is they want out of you, because they know if they play this role, if they give you what you want, you're going to give them whatever it is they want.
Let me also underscore the importance of women having healthy relationships with their fathers. When that doesn't happen, it creates a lot of chaos, and it creates room and space for women to become susceptible to men who are going to take advantage of them. As in this particular case, it happens all the time. Men have a keen ability to be able to sense or perceive if there's a man around who is just nefarious or good for nothing. Men can do that. Women, it's a little harder, particularly if the woman is sexually attracted to that man who's nefarious. And so,
well, we keep demonizing the handsome guy that's broke. You guys call him handsome, hobosexual. Like, we were just demonizing him. He's just a guy who's starting out in life. You don't start off in life rich unless you're born rich. You know, a majority of people are not born rich, right? The majority of the population is not rich. So you're going to hate on a guy because he's broke just like you, and he has to get a job, he has to earn and make something out of himself like the rest of the population? That's how we start off. Yeah, I had no money when I was young because I was young. I grew up in affluence, but my dad didn't just give me money. You know what I'm saying? You know, listen, I grew up in affluence to the extent that I lived in a nice house, and I didn't have to worry about where the next food or drink or resources were coming from because I knew, you know, I had the support from my family. But don't get it confused. I wasn't like one of these kids. When I went to school, I looked like everybody else. My parents essentially were cheap. My dad used to buy me one pair of shoes for the entire school year. I'm saying this to say that we're just victims of circumstance. I'm not, you know, we're not a hobosexual, we're just a victim of circumstance. Most men that have money are in their 40s and their 50s. The average millionaire is in their 60s or late 50s. So for what women expect us to have all the money and just start taking care of people, it's not realistic. This is why you have to date older if you want a man that has money. Okay? And date someone that you're attracted to. That way you're not paying for them. But chances are, and we already have a narrative. I don't even got to say it. We already got a narrative for a girl that dates an older man that has money. You look at it like he's taking advantage of you. I guess whoever. So when you're spending money on a man, he's taking advantage of you, and when he's spending money on you, he's still taking advantage of you. No matter what happens, you're still getting taken advantage of. You're still the victim in the story, and you're saying it's your childhood. I don't think it's any of that. Like I said, I think this is hypergamy. But one of the lies that is told commonly in about dating is that men have to pay all this, pay all that, and like I said, like That's true for a portion of men who have money, but for the rest of us who don't have money, what's going to happen? We either got to go 50-50, and this is what happens with women all the time. Women will just offer to pay. I'm telling you, attractive women. I know a lot of men think, oh my God, if you want to get a beautiful girl, you need to have money. Trust me, there is a handsome homosexual that beautiful woman been with before. Trust me. Okay, even Kim Kardashian been with some handsome homosexuals.
Again, going back to what I said before, this is why this whole individualistic mindset, I can do bad by myself, literally has women doing bad by themselves, because we as human beings were not meant to navigate life alone and make these important decisions without the safeguard of a healthy community.
They want. They're constantly investing into themselves off of another woman's dime. So whenever you meet them and you see them in the wild, they being taken care of by somebody else. But they don't stop scouting. They are always looking for a new supply to take from. They spend a lot of time curating this image to deceive you, whether it's on social media or in real life. And they will lie to you like that. Like that. It's I can't even say it's almost second nature. It comes so natural. It's so easy. They will sit and lie up in your face and not feel bad about it.
I'm a gigolo, spending lots of dough. You can tell the way the wide body sitting on floors. How I'm shining with the fresh clothes. Always surrounded by so many.
You are dating a character. You are dating a character. And oftentimes these men go after women who may struggle with some things. It could be confidence. It could be security. It could be...
Nah, we're not going after you. You going after us. You projecting on us. Listen, if you got daddy issues, you're generally boy crazy. So the boys are not necessarily going after you. You're going after them. See, I could watch all these videos about women talk about their issues, but the main issue they fail to address is their own accountability. So you had daddy issues, and he just knew. This dude, you know what I'm saying, he's broke, but he's just so smart. He has so many psychological skills. He has all these soft skills, and he just knows something wrong with you. And he just knows exactly what he need to do to manipulate you out of your money. Girl, you ain't got no money. If you have that kind of manipulation level skills as you're describing him, and he's attractive, then he should be manipulating other women that got more bread. Y'all spend money on a man and think that this is like the big time for him. If you're with a dude and you're spending money on him and he's just living off of you, he's not a handsome homosexual. He's just a bum. He's just a loser. He just is. I don't know what else to say, but you know, I think it's not ironic. I was gonna say ironic, but it's just it's kind of like I said, it's like a bad joke that women never take accountability at all. This entire video was someone else's fault for why you were in a horrible relationship. But you enjoyed it. You loved that D. You loved it. He was handsome. You were drawn to him. He manipulated you out of your money and you took care of him. He's just a character. And he knew all this stuff. He knew all that. He didn't know anything. You want to know one of the secrets to dealing with women, and a lot of men would agree with this? Keeping your mouth shut. You can't talk your way into punani, but you could talk your way out of it. All these women, a lot of these women, you don't realize, they'll take a lot more from your silence than they'll ever from your words. Because, you see, when you're silent, it leaves it up to them to fantasize of what you're thinking, what you're going to do, how you really feel. It's all in their mind. And that's the place you need to keep women. Just imagining and thinking. The minute you give them concrete information, it better be good. Because if it's not, it's going to be held against you. Okay? I used to tell this to people all the time. Whatever conversation you have with a woman, if it could be text on a phone call, just imagine as if you're having that conversation in front of an audience. Because she will tell everybody everything you said. Word for word, line by line, play by play. So you know what players do? They keep their mouth shut. They say as little as possible. So when you talk about manipulation, what are they really doing to manipulate you? I guarantee a lot of them are not trying to finesse you. Because they don't got to say nothing. You're so attracted to them, they don't got to say nothing. The more they say, the bigger opportunity they have to losing you. So if they keep their mouth shut, you manipulate yourself. Okay? Sassy bonnet wearing, beautiful black woman. She's attractive. I gotta keep it real. I know people think I'm pandering for black women. Nah, I think black women look good. For real, for real. Anyway, like this video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.